Hey, we're going to Joefest. Did you want to go to Joefest? Wait, no, wait. Oh, come back, Joefest. I'll meet you there. Today on Toy DOMination, we're gonna do a Joefest23 recap. I'm Dom.
I'm Mefest 2023. Woo! Joefest.
I did think it was pretty awesome that they knew you were coming, so they changed it.
I know, it was really nice of them.
Yeah, it's good.
It was really nice of them.
So for those that don't know, we just went out to Augusta June 8th through 11? 9 through 11? It's all kind of still a blur.
Yeah, 8 through 11. 8 through 11.
And we went to Joefest
9 through 11
at the big convention hall out there, and it was, well, actually, Joe, what did you think overall? What were your overall impressions?
I mean, I said this to you in the car, so I'll say it to everybody that's out there watching us right now. It was simultaneously exactly what I expected it to be, and simultaneously not. Like, it was a big room filled with a bunch of toy stores, so I was expecting that. I was not expecting how much G.I. Joes actually people had on hand to sell me. That was shocking to me. I was like, I thought this had all kind of run dry. It just felt like there wasn't really a lot out on the internet anymore. And to go to one room where there was like booth after booth after booth of like bins filled with G.I. Joes was kind of like, oh, I didn't know there was this much to buy anymore.
It was a good enough size exhibit hall. It was dense. Every booth was densely packed. Like when you were talking about, like, I thought all this stuff was scarce and gone now. That's why the prices were so high. But it was just like people are walking around with Night Ravens everywhere. I think there's like 40 clients or flags. I'm like,
oh my gosh, the amount of flags I saw there in one floor, I was like, what is happening? I didn't even. Is there that many flags in the world to be sold?
They're manufacturing them in the back.
Yeah.
It was cool. I would definitely recommend people going to it if they're into G.I. Joes. There was enough stuff there to not be G.I. Joe related too, which we'll get over in a little while here when we cover more in depth. But just broadly, you know, if you're like Valaverse, Marauders, Monkey Fiction, like there was some new stuff out there too, which we'll cover. So
Monkey Fiction.
Yeah, isn't that what it is? Is it Monkey Fiction? No? Monkey Fresh? Chicken Fried, Monkey Fresh, Valaverse.
Yeah.
So there was a lot there for you to be able to satiate, whether you're a 6-inch collector or 1/18. There was new stuff, there was custom stuff, there was Dio stuff. So yeah, I think it's worth it. Definitely worth the price of admission. So definitely worth the 20+ hours I put driving back.
The tickets, yeah, and for me the drive was only like 3 hours or so. So yeah, not that bad. I'm in Atlanta, so Augusta wasn't a big hike for me. Right. But the ticket price was, I mean, it might as well have not existed. That was like nothing.
Yeah, it was really low.
I forgot I paid it. One might say that's a no-brainer now.
If you haven't gone to Joefest, it's not the price. The ticket price is nothing. Get some energy drinks. Get some snacks because there's no real food there, or there is food.
Oh yeah, the lack of hotel, like even just junk food was kind of almost non-existent. Like you really had to like, and granted there was a street, like one street over, like filled with restaurants, but the wait time for those restaurants was very high. Yeah, have some snacks hidden around you.
Next edition, bring a sleeping bag, a big backpack, water, like
flashlight.
Don't go alone. Yeah.
They're cutting the. Why do you need a flashlight? They cut the power.
I'll get you, Dr. Avenger!
Yes! One of the cool things, besides just the show itself, though, that I was really looking forward to, other than seeing my best friend, was that there were people that Joe and I have streamed with, or people who are friends of the channel, who were going to this and tagging us like, hey, we're going to be there, we're going to be here, or like, you know, we knew certain people were flying in from Canada, Australia, you know, and like we were seeing their road tripping along the way. It was really cool to be able to see these people in person instead of just like a, you know, just that. So,
as a little screen with what they choose to show us.
Yeah, or you know, people who just jump into our show.
I got to see everyone from their ways down, Dom. It was very exciting.
That was all I was looking at. It was also cool to see people who just normally in chats who leave comments in person too. Like, hey, I recognize your name because you're always jumping our show. So that was really interesting.
It was super fun to watch, to see people that we normally just watch, or that we're on the stream with. That was a lot of fun to hang out with them.
Big fan, big supporter. Really glad to see you spear that Duke guy in the chest. Thought he had it coming.
He did, much as Optimus Prime.
Would you mind telling us what your next plan for World Domination is?
Well, the Weather Dominator was a huge expenditure that failed. And we're not going to address the Cobra Law, elephant, or centipede in the room.
Less said the better, honestly, yep. What's your next
believe that the American government is weakening. The leaders you have chosen seem to lack stability, both on their feet and in their judgment.
So are you saying you're going to be the next presidential candidate?
I am calling this election for the glory of Cobra.
Votes
this I command.
Vote Serpentor. It was great to be able to do that, and like what I liked about it too was seeing, because everyone has like a work face or a dad face or whatever they streaming face, right? So it was cool to see the other piece of the personality as well. I'm not saying it was just fake, but they're exhausted, they're tired, it's a long day, or they had a long travel, or they're maybe they have a couple drinks in them, and you get to see another part of them, and that was kind of cool to see that too. And actually,
I agree. Did you have a favorite booth, Dom?
Yeah, I did actually.
I know which one it is.
Yeah. So it honestly was the one that I just wanted to kind of like stop and play at and be like, hey, I'm good with the rest of this crap. Y'all sit down. I'm gonna park right here. Got the toys already. It was Crimson_toys and IGs. Go check this account out.
Yes.
Amazing. So I've got some pictures here, obviously, but he serviced 1/12 and 1/18 scale. So he had these stacks of just modular bell towers. Every layer, every platform stacks on top of a tube, which can be taken apart. Walkways had intricate two pieces in there, like you could take out the grates and replace it with like a
different grading, or like Star Wars grading, or
it was just, and then fixed pre-made fighting positions in like a semicircle or a full hexagon. So you could,
super cool stuff.
Yeah, and like I bought it basically was a fixed phalanx gun with like a radar dome on the top, and he had missile things, and I was honestly just like, I'm going to spend all of my money here. And
I was really impressed with what he put together. There was one modular wall that was like on a hinge, so you could kind of put it however you wanted to, and however many you put them together, they could just add another one on, so if you needed more length. And I was just like that's so brilliant, it's not even funny, because they support themselves, and they doesn't fall over because it hinges, because you just pivot the wall a little bit to left or right or whatever, to wherever you want the wall to go, and then suddenly it's supporting itself. Brilliant. Just to make this a giant elaborate maze wall. Try to get to my fortress now, you fools. Unless there was a Joy Toy booth there, which there wasn't. But Marauders Gun Runners booth, which, if you guys don't know who that is out there, is they make more of the 25th anniversary or, modern style G.I. Joe-esque figures. And the modularity and the ability to swap out heads and to put any gear on you could possibly want on those is super fun concept. But for some reason, just being able to walk up to the booth like it was a toy store and go, oh, I want that, oh, I want that, oh, I want that. Like, I bought from them literally every day we were there. Not a lot, but just pieces every day. I would just be like, oh, I want this now. And then the next day we'd go back and they'd be like, you guys are back again? Or like, yeah, I want more because I'm insane. But also, I just love the act of purchasing something from this booth. So that was like the most fun for me, because I was just like, this feels like getting a G.I. Joe from a store when I was a little kid.
That's funny. And they had, unlike all the other booths, they had a raised counter too. Is that like, I was like, I didn't really notice that until the second day. I was like, I feel like I'm, walking up to, I don't know what that was. But it was cool.
It's prescription drugs, Tom.
Yeah, they're at the counter. Yeah,
the pharmacists are always higher up.
I'm here for my other pickup, man. I ran out.
I'm not feeling so hot. Can I get another tunnel rat over there? I mean, not tunnel rat, because this is Marauders. The guy that looks exactly like tunnel rat, but he's not.
It was an impressive display, cool line of figures, and the prices at the shows are amazing. It was $25 for a geared up.
Oh yeah, they were just like running super great deals. So they had all these G.I. Joe lookalikes from their toys put together, and other movies and stuff. Like there was like a not Snake Plissken and a not the trucker from Little Tokyo, but it was not Big Trouble in Little China. But they had stuff like that, which was really cool. But I mean, but their prices on them, like you were just saying, was crazy. Like if you picked those pieces out on their website yourself and put it all together, and like all the gear and all the stuff that they had on there, it would be like $50. Really enjoy the 6-inch classified, as you're aware, and since there isn't classified like booths or a Hasbro booth at this tiny convention, the next best thing, or some would say better, is Valaverse, and seeing what they put out was really cool. They've got trucks coming out this year, or not this year, but they had trucks on display at the con this year. Huge. And they were huge, but I mean, like 6-7 guys could fit in that thing. Yeah, like it was crazy. I was just like, wow, this is, and the detail is insane, and just like the tow hook and the doors open and the rocket launchers and the different gun pods you could put in the top, and the fact that the seat in the middle folds down, and it was just like all this stuff, and I was like, whoa. And they were super nice guys, and they were there the whole time, and apparently their panel went really well, which we walked through in the backup.
Yeah, I so kind of missed all the panels. Actually, the whole time, because I was enjoying like seeing people and finding stuff. You know, I didn't want to stop to go listen. Like, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it would have been good, but it's kind of like a podcast. I'm like, man, I'm in the moment here. I don't want to distract. The only time I did want to go to a panel, the only time I did want to go to a panel was when we were dogged tired. I was like, honestly, I don't care who's talking. I want to go sit in there just to sit there.
Yeah.
So the other booths I enjoyed going to was, I have two of them that jumped out to me. Was Delta 17, which you already talked about too. It's this upcoming cool. It's not Kickstarter. It's already backed, and he funded it. Like it's invested. It's happening. I don't quote me. I think it's November. Right. It's like Modern Warfare and that GI Joe. So like if the GI Joe run had kept going in O-ring style, and then they saw the game Modern Warfare, like, oh yeah, here we go, and mash those things together. They've got troops in there. They've got more militarized, less wacky than GI Joe. You know what I mean? So it's very more realistic. I thought it was cool. We met the creator. He's a really good dude. He talked in depth about like the process and stuff, so that was interesting. Definitely gonna have him come on the show later on too. But I think it's a cool line, and I am definitely getting some of those troop builders. There's a little more, the green olive drab with the sci-fi helmets, definitely. And
that comes in 2 different skin tones, so you can get black or white or Caucasian, I guess. But the way the gear works on them was really cool. I mean, it's just little things. Like he had a gas mask on one guy, and you could take the backpack off and slide it into the backpack and put the backpack back on. And I was like, that's so smart.
The other booth that I was excited to be able to see too, that I knew was going to be there, was Urban Rev Toys, and that's, I've purchased cloth goods from him before for 4-inch figures, whether it's O-ring or like modernized style and Marauders. So to be able to actually see him in person, be like, hey, I made orders from you before, and what do you got now? That was really cool to be able to meet him, and I picked up a couple jackets, and he's starting to make 6-inch clothing, which looked really good. Cloth goods are a slippery slope, man. Like I said,
once you do it, and you're like, well, now none of my other toys are as cool as this one. I guess I need 100 of these.
You're all getting a glow up. Well, so we both have the same answer. This, I'm pretty sure, which is funny. So, what was your favorite part of the entire show?
I mean, you know that.
Yeah.
It's my favorite part of doing this since day one with you, man. Is finding collections and digging through them and going, da da da, the one I was looking for, or buying a lot of it and then sorting it out later and going, oh my gosh, what have we done? You know, like this is too much.
This wasn't my first show. I've been to shows where there's guys on pegs and the clam cases on, like stuff, blah blah. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about is literally in their hands, like
bins.
Kids in a ball pit, bins of GI Joes, and like I couldn't help. The one booth had like 5 bins of just absolutely arm deep of modern figures, and I was like, where's the scarcity again? What
Just one booth had 5 bins filled with figures. I mean, we were going through those forever, and I would just be like, this one, This one?
Yeah.
I mean, like, and I was like, do I really need 3 more of these? All right. And then 5 minutes later, I'd be like, I do need 3 more of these.
The scraps of vehicle parts.
Yeah, the vehicle scraps had you like enthralled for 48 straight hours. It was kind of adorable. Like I was like, what? like watching you go through those bins. Was simultaneously like super nostalgic because it was just like I was just transported to the past when we were in high school. We were going through our friends' collections because they're too cool to play with toys anymore. We're just like, give us more. At the end of it all, you dumped it all out on the floor in the hotel room and went, look, Joe, I can do this. Boop, 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 and just moved all the pieces around. I was like, you're like a mad savant. you're like a brilliant idiot. I don't know what it is.
I felt like a freaking Jawa in a Scrappy band.
Yes,
like,
you really were. But it was at some point. The funniest part was like you'd get like a piece, like you'd cobble together this tank almost complete from like 7 different people's booths and like putting all these scraps together. But you'd kind of lose track and you'd be like, wait, do I have the front? Do I have the front of this or the back of that?
It was a Thundercat.
Yeah. And then, well, also the wheels on the Persuader. I mean, there was just little things like you were just like, you got 2 back wheels and you're like, son of and then you had to go back and you're like, found them.
And we went to the hotel room, dropped stuff off because I had bags like a freaking cat lady, you know what I mean? Just bags and bags of other. And I looked at some
you
of
just had bags filled with cans to recycle, like a lunatic.
So, but those vehicles look so similar. I was like, wait, did I get this? Are the
did I get 2 fronts, 2 backs?
Yeah,
one back, one front.
Like the cloth of the table over me, like, Joe, which one did I get? And you're like, I don't know, man. It was hours ago, but which one?
I don't know. We brought those bags back to the car already. At one point, it's like Saturday late afternoon. We'd been there for a day and a half. I've been watching Dom dig through toy bins for like 4 hours probably. So I was just like, I'm gonna sit down here and this nice chair that belongs to the comic booth behind me, not even the ones we're shopping at. and then you were like, Joe, find me a Wolverine track, like the track to a Wolverine track. And I was like, all right, hold on. It's been a while. I started to like Google and be like, oh, great, okay.
And what was awesome was we found that Wolverine track, and I got.
That's true. I did find that Wolverine track.
So that was a win. Yeah, awesome.
Man, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. We kind of pieced together a lot of vehicles there. Thanks for watching this video. Tell us your thoughts on Joefest in the comments below,
and be sure to check out these other awesome videos.